Take 37. Okay, stay with me on this. So I need to make an amendment to this statement before you all start slagging me off in the comment section below. There is one very good reason why. There are three very good four very good reasons why I was never a fan of He-Man. There's at least 5 good reasons why I never liked He-Man toys as a kid. Okay, so I've amended my statement to why I hated He-Man toys as a kid, because I don't really hate them. As a toy collector, well, as a toy collector now, all I'm trying to do is get my hands on them. I'm going to cut in some pictures in a minute of the collection that I sold, that I never should have sold, that we had in the shop that was fantastic. It's the early 80s and Kenner have stolen the toy industry with the Star Wars line. So Mattel, being the mega conglomerate and business dominatrix that it wanted to be, decided they wanted a piece of the action. So they came up with this, and make it up as you go along, label slapping, moral high ground styled cartoon to sell a toy line. Say hello to the camera. You're right. Welcome to the shop floor at Brooks Collectables. We are open at the minute, so there will be people walking around in the background. And that reminds me, if you're passing the shop and want to come and have a look around, then you're always welcome to. And if you're not able to, then you can check out last week's video, which was a tour of the museum. I'm going to redo last week's museum tour video because I filmed it all the wrong way around, because I didn't know what I was doing, because I did it as a live feed and I'm absolutely hopeless at that kind of thing. So soon there will be another tour of the museum, which will show you in vertical detail all the cool stuff that we have. But for now, let's get back to me slagging off He-Man toys. These are the only 2 figures I've got from the original toy line now. The Skeletor, Panther and Battle Cat and He-Man. And to be fair, I'm glad I kept hold of these. Now, for those of you who've seen the brilliant documentary series, The Toys That Made Us, you do not need me to go into the history of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. A lot of the facts about the toy line are very well known. But there are certain things as a kid, you hear that? There are certain things as a kid that I absolutely hated about it. I think mainly the first thing was because it wasn't Star Wars. I'm now going to do the continuity joke because I didn't get a chance to finish the video off before. Competition time, and I need to talk to you about the competition we did for the museum tour video. Now, I messed it up because I used YouTube's app to do the live stream. I've lost all the comments that people made during the video. So if you put a comment in to win the terrible Blackpool t-shirt, the Hot Wheels or the other Hot Wheels, I need you to put your answers to the question in the comment section below, and then I'm going to do the draw. So I'm going to draw that competition, yes, I'm going to draw that competition in next week's video to give you a bit more time to add your comments so that it's fair and you get a chance at winning these brilliantly terrible prizes. I'll draw that in next week's Toy Tuesday. That seems fair, right? Yeah, that's it. So now I am talking to you from the future, which is also now the past, about why I hate He-Man toys. Don't hate me for this, but as a kid, I loved Star Wars. I mean, there's a full set of Star Wars figures behind me, and these were a threat. Not only were they a threat, also I wasn't a fan of the cartoon either. That kind of righteous bit at the end that was just a bit preachy. You've got dancing hips. But I mean, a lot of the things I don't like about them are actually the figures. I mean, basically, he's a big muscly man in his underpants. Not really for me as a kid. Also, for some reason, they had squishy heads, which is weird. And I'll just demonstrate how good they are at standing up. Oh, I'm so clumsy. Terrible. Brilliant. And look at Skeletor too. Absolutely hopeless. And what are his feet all about? Is he a duck or a skeleton? And they're all twisted. I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, this was a feature of the toy that you could flick them. Why? I mean, the weapons are pretty cool. I think the problem I had with these figures is I was probably getting a bit too old for toys when they were released. The kind of collector in me wanted to buy them, but I thought they were a bit rubbish and I preferred Star Wars stuff. So I really kind of ignored them. And now, as I said, as an adult toy collector, no, can't say that. I'm not going to say adult toy collector because that sounds wrong. Now, as a toy collector who is all grown up and who deals in vintage toys, I want them back in the shop because they're really cool. I mean, I've been buying up these re-released ones for a museum display. I think I've got another one down here as well, which is that horse, Stridor. I mean, why are the names all so rubbish on these things? This is basically a bunch of grown men in a room thinking up names for toys. I mean, even this is a tiger, I think, from the Big Jim toy line. The guy who actually was told to make this toy painted it green and put orange stripes on it to dissuade them from actually using it to go with He-Man. Another guy at Mattel at the time thought it was brilliant, said put a saddle on it and we'll use it. And that's what they did. They nicked toys from other toy lines, mass produced them and made millions and millions of pounds. And all these accessories, which they churned out in no end, all cost a fortune. I mean, they are brilliant, don't get me wrong. They're brilliant, but they're also rubbish. But then so many toys are. That's the point of them, the little bits of joy that they bring. I'm gonna say, I mean, this box is absolutely knackered and terrible. But, I mean, that artwork is pretty fantastic. That artwork is better than the toys. Really, even though I've used the clickbaity title, Why I Hate He-Man, I'm actually quite into them now, to be fair. And what we're gonna do in this week's competition is give one of these away. But it does, I mean, they have got odd faces. So find out later in the video how you can win this figure. That one has strange hair and a sort of gritted teeth. Just wait for that ambulance to go past. He's never going to sell any ice cream going at that speed. This is a bunch of grown men in an office coming up with stupid names to produce more toys to feed the beast that was Masters of the Universe, because the demand for it was incredible. But I think the worst of all figures has to be that guy. I mean, how can you allow that as a children's toy? Another interesting fact about these figures is they are part of a second Lucas paradox, a bit like Buck Rogers being created because of the demand for Star Wars. 20th Century Fox in 1967, I think it was, put out a film called Dr. Dolittle, which made a $9 million loss and almost tanked the studio. Alongside that, they had $200 million worth of toys that never sold. And when Lucas came along to make Star Wars, and one of his conditions was to keep the toy rights, they said, knock yourselves out, mate, because we're not interested, which was a big mistake on their part. Every single movie that's come out has been influenced by Lucasfilm and the Star Wars toy line by creating this massive amount of merchandise around it. I mean, the recent Marvel film's been a point in case. And the thing is, Mattel had actually passed up the chance to make the Star Wars toys. So when it was an incredible success, they were kind of kicking themselves. So what they did was try to come up with their own idea. And to be fair, they were pretty successful with it. And that's where the idea for Masters of the Universe came from. Despite the fact that they didn't make a movie until a lot later, what they did was produce a comic book and a cartoon to sell the toys and introduce new figures and vehicles all the time, which made the kids want to go out and buy them. Turned it into a weekly serial, created this mega smash, and sold millions of toys. Skip forward to the future with me sort of slagging them off, but then actually wanting them at the same time, which is another sort of weird paradox, isn't it? But now it's this. And now to this week's competition, where you can win this He-Man. The question to win this week's He-Man is, and put it in the comment section below, I want you to write the sentence, why I hate He-Man, and put your answer at the end. And if you don't hate He-Man, what I want you to put is, I don't hate He-Man, and mark you're an idiot. And then your reason why you think He-Man's great. And what it's getting sillier and sillier, these competitions. Well, they're not even really questions, are they? Put that in the comment section below, and then I don't know if I'll do it next week, because we're going to draw the museum tour video. Might do it in the video after that. I'm actually working on 4 videos at the same time at the minute, so there might be a couple come out together, or it just depends. I've just no time at the minute, but I'll I'll get more videos posted as soon as I can, and then we'll draw the competitions, and I will message the people who have won the prizes. Did that make any sense at all? Why do I always get text messages when I'm filming? Got to breathe in for this bit. Right, one last thing. A lot of people messaged me about where I got the Graffiti Princess Leia t-shirt from. What I'll do is put a link to it in the description below if you would like to order one. What I'll try and do is get a 20% discount off for anyone who wants to buy one of these Graffiti Princess Leia t-shirts, which are really cool. Oh, I hate being ill. So to quickly recap why I hated He-Man toys as a kid, they don't stand up, they've got squishy heads, they all have stupid names, and they're not Star Wars toys. And I haven't even mentioned the power. And how did no one ever guess his secret identity? He changed from a fully clothed man into his underwear. Just don't get it. The thing is, now that I don't have any of them, they're so cool and I really want them for the shop again. So that's what I'm going to be doing, trying to find more of these to buy to put on display. Also, while I've been finishing this video off, I had a parcel delivered. So that is what 1,200 quid worth of toys looks like from an auction house, which doesn't seem very much to me. So I think next week's Toy Tuesday video is going to be me unboxing this. Either that, or I'm going to go and look at a toy collection tonight. Next week's video might be me showing you what I bought from a private collection. What I want you to do is wait for that really noisy motorbike with a loud exhaust to go past, and then I'll do that bit again. Come on. Get over yourself. I think he's parked. Stay there and do as you're told. I mean, his leg's backwards, what's all that about? You just don't want to stay on here. Competition time. I'm going to hijack this video, as I always do mid-video, to say the word video 3 times, which is stupid.